I'm going to break down the habits I had to let go of to finally reach tailbone length, loose, natural hair. If you've been struggling with length retention or you're on a mission to grow your hair long and healthy, this video is for you. You're going to want to stick around for this one. Hey mamas, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, I now have locks, sister locks to be exact, and I've been rocking my locks for the past year now. I can't believe it's been a year, but yeah, for the past year now. But today I'm sharing the things I stopped doing to my loose natural hair that helped me to get to tailbone length hair before I locked my hair. So if you're ready for long, healthy, loose natural hair, stick around. Okay, so let's start with washing my loose natural hair. One of the biggest changes I made was stopping the inconsistency of washing my natural hair. So I used to think that washing my loose natural hair often, this was like in the very beginning of my natural hair journey, I used to think that washing my hair too often or often in general would dry out my hair. But when I started washing my hair every 5 to 7 days, game changer. Honestly, it was a game changer. My hair loved it. It was easier to manage. It retained moisture. I experienced less breakage, so I was retaining length. So it turned out that my hair actually loved being washed way more regularly than I was, because I was being paid back in leaps and bounds. Next, I stopped detangling after shampooing and when styling. And let me tell you, switching to detangling before shampooing, another game changer. Another game changer, honestly. So I detangle my hair before shampooing, and then I'll twist my hair up, and then I'll shampoo in those twists. My wash days were quicker, easier, less breakage, less tangles, and overall I was retaining length because wash day was just so much easier. When I would detangle my hair after shampooing, because I would be using the wrong techniques when I'd be shampooing my hair, so I'll just basically be roughing up my hair in circles, obviously causing way more tangles than needed. And then I'll detangle, it would take me forever to detangle my hair. I'll get frustrated, start ripping out my hair because I wanted it to be over with. As soon as I made that switch, everything was way easier. I couldn't even believe how much easier it was to do my hair on wash days. And of course, if I'm experiencing way less tangles and breakage, I'm gonna retain length, right? And length retention is what I was rewarded with. It's all about working smarter, not harder, mamas. And that was a smart move that made wash day so much easier for me. Now mamas, I used to be guilty of deep conditioning my hair overnight. That's hours while I was sleeping, cooking up my hair underneath my my bonnet. I would put like a plastic bag or cling film and then put my scarf on top and just cook my hair basically. Now in my mind, I thought the longer I kept the deep conditioner in, the better results I would get once I rinsed it out. Was I right or wrong? I was wrong. I was wrong big time. Initially, I felt like I was right. I felt like I was doing something. I felt that my hair was more healthier, but in the long run, it wasn't the best for my hair. You know, after a while, my hair started to feel too soft. It started to feel mushy. It just didn't feel healthy. It didn't feel like my regular hair that was like bouncy, had life to it. It just, I don't know, it just felt limp and mushy and overly soft. Kind of like, you know, when you cook spaghetti, when you overcook spaghetti, it's not nice when you overcook spaghetti, you know, but when you cook spaghetti right, it is the best. That's how my hair was. It was just too soft, too mushy, and just limp. It wasn't the best over time. And like I said, I didn't experience this in the beginning, but over time, continually doing this, I started to see the negative effects of deep conditioning for that long. And these are the classic signs of over conditioning. So I switched to deep conditioning for a maximum of 30 minutes. In all honesty, I would just deep condition for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes, but I'll never go over 30 minutes. And my hair was just so much more healthier. If your hair is healthy in general, it's going to retain length. And my hair was overall much more healthier when I deep conditioned for a shorter amount of time. Before we continue, if you are struggling with your little one's hair, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling frustrated, you know, feeling like nothing is working, you're close to giving up, please don't give up. Click the link below this video in the description box and book a consultation call with me. Let me help you with your little one's hair. Together we'll create a regimen that works to keep your little one's hair healthy and flourishing. I will tell you exactly where you're going wrong, what you need to do, what changes you need to make. Yeah, let's do this. So click the link below this video and book that call with me. So the next thing is I stopped being scared of certain ingredients. There is a lot of fear mongering out there when it comes to ingredients in our hair care products. I fell for a lot of these claims, so eventually I had enough, you know, enough was enough. So I stopped being scared of, for example, silicones, sulfates, petrolatum, which is in grease, mineral oil. I just stopped being scared of all of these ingredients. So for example, I reintroduced shampoos that contain sulfates in them to properly clarify and cleanse my hair and scalp, because over time I was accumulating a lot of buildup on my hair. And with this buildup, my hair was becoming dry, it was becoming brittle, unmanageable. But when I reintroduced clarifying shampoos into my regimen, it helped to remove all of that buildup from my hair and scalp, and my hair started to thrive. It started to retain moisture, it started to become more manageable. It was just a game changer, and I attribute that to my length retention as well during that time. You know, I mentioned that I also embrace silicones. So for example, silicones in my conditioners, another game changer. It made detangling my loose natural hair so much easier, and it shortened detangling time as well because of the silicones. It just made my hair easier to detangle. Yeah, it was just another game changer. I'm talking little to no breakage in my detangling sessions. I'm not talking about shed hair, I'm talking about actual breakage. I was experiencing a lot of breakage. But with the switch to using silicone conditioners, game changer. And then petrolatum, as I mentioned before, the last step in my moisturizing routine, I would use grease to help me hold on to moisture, so help me retain moisture in my hair. Another game changer when I introduced that into my regimen. It helps me to retain moisture for literally days. I'm talking the whole week. I took the time to learn the function of these ingredients and how these ingredients could actually help my hair, rather than being fearful of these ingredients, you know. And when I did that and, you know, incorporated them back into my regimen, I was retaining length so much more easier. I remember there was a time where my growth seemed like it was stunted. I was at between bra strap and shoulder length for years, literally for years. It just was not going past that length. But when I incorporated these things that I've already mentioned to you and the other points that I'm going to mention, I was retaining length so much more easier. I used to think I had a problem with length retention, but I really didn't. Another habit that I had to let go of was solely finger detangling. Now I know there's a lot of naturals that solely finger detangle and it works for them, and that's amazing, but for me that didn't work. Now don't get me wrong, finger detangling is great. I still finger detangle, but I don't do that solely. What I do now is finger detangle first to remove the tangles and knots from my hair, and then I use a detangling tool like a brush to remove the shed hairs from my hair. So when I was finger detangling solely, what I noticed is that my roots were always tangled. So the full length of my hair seemed fine, but the roots were always tangled. And that used to really get on my nerves. And I also had shed hair clinging on for dear life because I wasn't able to remove all of the shed hair from my hair on wash day. You know, sometimes when I would be, you know, re-moisturizing my hair or, you know, styling my hair, I would see those long strands just hanging onto my hair. So for example, I'd plait my hair and I'll see a long thin strand just hanging on for dear life that should have come out when I was detangling my hair, but because I was using solely my fingers, I wasn't getting all of that shed hair out of my hair. And if you think about it as well, we shed about 50 to 100 strands a day, and just using my fingers to detangle, rake through my hair, it just wasn't cutting it at all. Like I said, I started to finger detangle first to remove the knots and tangles, and then I would use a detangling brush. And that was a game changer. Literally, my roots that was always tangled were no longer tangled at all, because I was able to detangle thoroughly, and the roots as well. And phew, what a difference that made. I mean, less tangles equals less breakage equals length retention. It was a win-win situation for me. I always say this, mom, is it's all about finding what works for you. If you are solely finger detangling and that works for you, amazing. For me, like I said before, it wasn't working for me, so I switched, and that was so much better. So whatever works for you, continue doing that. Speaking of finding what works, I stopped DIYing, and I know some of you are gonna come for me, don't. But for me personally, I stopped DIYing. I stopped DIY treatments like home protein masks. So I would use egg, mayonnaise, and some olive oil. Thinking about it just makes me a little bit sick because it wasn't nice. Like the smell, the feel of it. Oh yes, and I would also add mayo as well to that mix and just like whip it all up with a fork and then apply it to my hair. The protein molecules in eggs are too large anyway. So me thinking that the egg was penetrating and strengthening my hair and doing all things that protein masks and protein treatments claim, I was thinking I was a chemist at home, you know, making my strengthening treatment, but it wasn't doing any of that because, like I said, the protein molecules in an egg is just too large to penetrate the hair to do anything. It literally just sits on the surface, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted some repairs, temporary repairs done on my hair, and that just wasn't cutting it. So I invested in well formulated protein masks and treatments, light ones, but they made a significant amount of difference. You know, when I used it and rinsed my hair, I noticed a difference in comparison to when I was making my own protein treatments. You know, they're way more effective, and my hair thanked me for it. You know, one thing I learned over time is actually listening to my hair and understanding what it liked and doesn't like. Like way back before, I used to get so frustrated with my hair. I used to feel like we were always battling with each other. You know, I always felt like whatever I did, whatever I done, my hair just didn't like it. It just didn't cooperate with me. It was stubborn. Like making these little changes, my hair thanked me, you know. After these protein treatments, my hair thanked me. It was happy, it was stronger, it was strengthened, and I noticed a difference pretty much straight away, to be honest. You know, the health of my hair improved, and also I was retaining length as well. I was experiencing way less breakage. Mamas, don't forget, if you are struggling with your little one's hair, you're feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, you know, you're feeling like nothing you're doing is working, and you feel like you've been on the struggle bus for a long time, you don't have to be. Click the link below this video and book a consultation call with me. Together, I will help you to create an effective regimen for your little one. We can talk through your struggles, and I'll give you my advice on how to help your little one achieve healthy hair that thrives. So mamas, I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Click the link below this video and let's have a chat. The next thing is I stopped back-to-back extensions and weaves. Yeah, I stopped that cold turkey. So the last time I had extensions or weave or anything like that was back in 2019. Then I have not had any extensions or weaves. I went cold turkey. Don't get me wrong, I love the convenience of them. I love the way it looks on me. Yeah, I was a ride or die, like extensions and weave, like I said, back to back. That was my thing. But they were putting so much stress on my hair and my edges. I started to notice the thinning around my edges and the thinning overall in my hair. My hair wasn't as full as I knew it could be. So removing extensions and weaves for my regimen completely, for me personally, that's what I had to do. Removing it completely from my regimen, game changer. Helped improve the overall length and health of my hair. So that was a big game changer for me. So there you have it, mamas. Those are the things I stopped doing to achieve tailbone length hair. Mamas, if you want to hear a bit more about my journey to tailbone length hair and my journey with my natural hair in general, click the link below this video now and check out those 2 videos. I go into a lot more detail and share some things that I haven't shared in this video, so check those videos out. Take care and I'll see you next one. Bye.